Hey friends, welcome back to my Practically Imperfect Life. It has been a long time no see, but I have greatly enjoyed the month off. I pretty much took all of March off from everything social media related, with the exception of replying to a couple of emails, and it has been a beautiful, beautiful thing. But I am officially back with a goals video. Nonetheless, I haven't really posted a goals video since last fall, and I got out of the habit when things were like really just getting a little hectic around here, and made some major changes just in life as we went through the holidays and into the new year. But I've missed doing goals videos. I feel like it's a great opportunity for us to chat, for me to give you a little bit of update on what's going on, what my focuses are, and I've missed that accountability. I've really missed having to come back and say, oh yeah, well this is how I did on that goal. Because with nobody holding me accountable, it's been a lot easier to say, well, you know, we can slide on this a little bit. Whereas if I know I'm coming back and reporting to you guys, I want to make sure that I do all of the things. But for those who are new to my channel, welcome. My name's Abby. I'm a homeschooling mom of two, and I have two older teenagers, a senior and a junior. And so as we are kind of getting to the tail end of this high school and like this whole homeschooling journey, you know, my focuses keep changing, and the things I want to work on keep changing, and just my overall kind of priorities for the year. And so I thought, since I never did like a whole start of the year goals, kind of talking about my overall, I thought I would share just a couple of things and then give you a little bit of a recap of what went on in March and why we kind of took the month off, and then also what we're looking forward to in the month of April. So first of all, I am a bullet journaler, so I have my new bullet journal for this year, and I did a goals page where I have my goals for the year on one side, and then I have my word of the year. So I like to choose a word of the year, kind of like the key thing, like when I'm working on stuff, I'm asking myself, is it fitting in with what I'm looking for there? And this year I decided that my word was going to be balance, and I wrote down definitions too. You know, like one definition for balance was a condition in which different elements are equal or in the correct proportions. And for the verb form of it, you know, to keep or put something in a steady position so it does not fall. And I thought this word was so perfect because I was way out of balance towards the end of last year. I was working so many hours. I mean, I was just burning the midnight oil. I was working night shifts. I was picking up day shift hours. I was trying to homeschool. I was trying to keep up with stuff here at home. Things were busy with my different businesses, and I was just a mess. And I was losing that balance, not only like health-wise, but also with my family. And with my daughter being a senior, it was so important to me to try to balance and find more time with the family, not just homeschooling, but also just with all of the other things, like having those key enjoyable family moments and family dinners and going out and doing things together. And I didn't have the time for it because I was constantly running back and forth between one thing and the other. So I did a very, very deep kind of reflection as I went into the new year, and I thought, you know, we've got to make some major changes in order to create balance in my life, that work-life balance where I'm taking care of my family, but I'm taking care of myself, but I'm also getting the things done that I need to do for work. But it has really impacted how I've focused my time. It's impacted how I've kind of blocked out different days to work on different things. It's impacted my entire career focus even. I was working full-time nights at the hospital, and I switched out. I switched to just working PRN at the hospital, which financially was a big change, right? Because I was really bringing in a good majority of the income by working that shift and working those hours. And so it required us to really sit down and reanalyze our budget, but to look at the pros and cons of doing that. And the pros way outweighed the fact that we just needed to adjust our family budget. So I went to PRN at the hospital, and what I had been doing part-time as a part-time job was doing some out-of-the-home teaching. And so I've actually changed to doing more of a focus on that and less of a focus on working as a nurse in the hospital. So I still am a nurse and I'm still doing those things, but not nearly as much as I was before, because I've really discovered that I love educating. I love teaching other kids as much as I've enjoyed teaching my own. And as my kids are kind of getting to the end of their homeschool journey and getting ready to graduate, I don't want to lose that opportunity to continue to pass on information in an engaging way to others. So I've really enjoyed being able to do that, and trying to find other ways to do that as my kids are getting ready to leave the home. So some of the projects and things like that I'm going to share and talk about will kind of be related to that. But that's kind of what was going on and why balance has become the word of the year. The other thing, March was just a really busy month, and I wanted to be very present for those things that were going on. One of the things that we did, my daughter's basketball team, so we're part of a bigger league that has teams from like 10 and under all the way up to varsity teams. The varsity basketball teams, our boys and girls varsity basketball teams, traveled down to Missouri to go to the Homeschool National Basketball Championships. It was absolutely amazing. So just Emma and I went. My husband couldn't take that much time off of work, and my son opted to stay in town to work on school and to work at his job. And he spent some extra days with grandparents. He actually went down to Indy and visited his grandma down there. He stayed with his godmother, who's my best friend, for a day. So he spent some extra time with other family members while Emma and I traveled. And we were there for a full week. There were basketball games every single day. So we saw the statistics. It was like 400 plus teams went down there. And that's, again, across all of the different age groups. But 400 teams and 1,000 games of basketball were played in 5 days, which is incredible. That's a lot of basketball. It's amazing how well organized this event was. And while I've driven through the area, I've never stayed in the area. We stayed in a small little suburb outside of the city, and we rented like this cute room in an Airbnb, and the town was adorable. We went to a coffee shop called The Hive, which has a mission to help adults with disabilities find meaningful work. And so they had their mission statement up there, and the different employees were just wonderful. We stopped there for coffee a couple days that week, and they sold plants. And I so badly wanted to buy all of the plants, but I knew that we had like a 9.5-hour drive to go home, and they would be sitting in a car, and it would just not be good. But I was really tempted, but we loved that. We even had we had long blocks of free time, so we went to malls. We went down to Branson, and we went to like the outlet stores. We went to a Trump Depot, which was hilarious and fun, and we found some gifts for some family members. We did a lot of thrift store shopping and antiquing. There was this absolutely adorable antique store, and Emma is really into kind of that vintage look for things, so we found things for her college apartment that are like vintage cookware and vintage bowls. It was so cool. It was so nice to have just that time with her. And not gonna lie, but on Friday that week, her last game, with about 30 seconds left in the game, the coach would, every time the clock would stop, he'd sub out one senior one at a time, and everyone would stand and cheer for him, and we were all just crying. We were just, it's been a wonderful journey with this team and with this league. They really are an extended family, and all of her best friends are teammates. Her boyfriend plays for the boys varsity team. So we're just very close to this group, and it's been wonderful for her. So it was very emotional, and man, I'm going to cry if I think about it too much, but basketball's not something that she's going to do in college. All she'll do is play for fun from now on. So to watch her have that final week of competing, and we had some victories, we had some losses, but it was a wonderful week of basketball and just spending time together. So we definitely just enjoyed having that whole week. And then on top of that, we had a family member who was in the hospital for an extended period of time, and so naturally I kind of insert myself and help with that because I'm like the one who speaks doctor. So coming in and helping with those things. Don't worry, they are on the mend and working towards recovery. So thank the Lord for healing for that. We have been doing a bunch of stuff around the house. We are in the middle of ramping up for spring. In fact, for those of you who have an interest in things related to gardening, I did like a quick video that I'll edit and put out about our garden plans for this year, because we have a plan now in place, like a long-term plan of what's going to happen, but things have to be done in bits and pieces because of the cost associated with them. So our plans for this year, what is it we're going to be able to get done, where we're going to be putting things, and what our hopes are for our 3-acre space in the coming years. So very excited about that. I ran a science fair and like a family science night this month. I had 31 different participants create science fair projects to share, and it was wonderful to be able to guide students through that process, to be able to teach how you go about the scientific the method. How do we create background question, or create a question, do background research, what's a proper hypothesis, how do you develop a good experiment, determining your variables, like the whole thing. Like we went through the whole process over a matter of weeks with them, and then they presented these projects, and it was really wonderful to see that. And that the night also had a lot of STEM activities for families, so there were 10 interactive stations that families got to come and enjoy, and it was a lot of work to plan and put that together, but I was really grateful to be able to be a part of that and to help lead that effort. So yeah, just lots of things going on, and it just became one of those things where I was like, you know what, I don't need to do anything else other than focus on these things this month, and so that's what I did. I took the month off. Anyways, here we are over 10 minutes into this video, and I haven't talked about my goals once, except to tell you about my overall goals of balance. But I felt like, we haven't chatted in a long time, and I think it's good to talk about those things. Anyways, let's talk about goals, and specifically the goals for April. So I have 6 different categories of goals that I have been using for years. It helps me to, again, just kind of hone in on the things that are most important to focus on this month. And I'm going to start with homeschooling because, well, that's why most of you are here, is homeschooling. So what is it that I need to get done in the month of April? So in the month of April is actually the month when I choose my curriculum for the upcoming school year. Now, that does not mean that you need to rush out and choose your curriculum for the following school year right now. I choose it this early because, one, I need to order it and have it on hand for curriculum choice videos that I do in May. I like to be able to give you that feedback on what I'm doing and how to get your hands on it early. That way you can watch for good sales, and you can also have plenty of time to see what different homeschoolers are recommending or are using and make the decision of what will work best for your students. And similar to what I did last year, I will give you some recaps on what we thought of our different subject material this past year. Last year I was brutally honest about what I liked and didn't like, and I think I'm going to do that again this year, because I think you should really know the good and the bad about everything, and where I felt like some things fell short of my expectations, where I felt some things exceeded my expectations, what things were just okay. But I need to make those choices for next year, get my son set up. The other thing homeschool related is him and I are going to go do a homeschool day at our local community college. It's the same college where my daughter is taking her dual enrolled classes. But the reason why we're going to go do this in-person day is because my son is looking to go into trade school. And they offer some courses that are like introduction to trade, where you get a little bit of the business information, but you also learn about different types of trades. And once you've decided on one you want to focus on, they have specific courses he can start to go through next year. And that'll just kind of put him ahead of the game when he's trying to enter and become an apprentice somewhere in the future. So we are going to work on those two things in the month of April. Most of our other stuff is pretty chill at this point. You know, transcripts are ready to go, except for adding in the grades for this last semester. We've got our NCAA stuff all done. And yes, I know I keep saying I'm going to release a video on that, and I promise I'm going to. Again, took the month of March off, but it's coming. But yeah, I mean, everything else has been pretty smooth in our homeschool this quarter, thankfully. We had so many hiccups in the fall, so it's kind of nice to just have what feel like simple goals for the month of April. My other goals category is home and garden. Home and garden, usually I have some key projects that I'm focusing on, and of course it's April, which means we got to prep the gardens. We've got to get them ready. So this is the month where I need to go out and do weeding. I need to amend all of the beds, all of the raised beds, all of the in-ground beds, get them ready for planting. There is an area out there where we need to lay gravel, and that has to happen this spring because I'm not dealing with it not having a gravel path around it again this year. So gravel paths, amending that soil and getting all of those beds ready. We're also going to be trying to do some pest preventative measures. Last year, Japanese beetles, you know what I'm talking about? This is what they are. They're awful. They are the worst. They will eat all of your flowering plants, but they decimate roses and they decimate hibiscus and a bunch of other flowers, and it just, they're so hard to get rid of once they've infested your space. So we're doing some preventative stuff in the soil and in the grass this month, and again, we'll treat again in May to try to hopefully not have them emerge because their larvae are in the ground and it's gross and they just need to go. So hopefully can get that under control for this year. But within the house, I keep track of the major spaces in my home, and every month I've been trying to do a deep clean of at least one space and sometimes two. May is a very busy cake baking season, and yes, I still run a baking business from home. We are getting into wedding and graduation season, and there have been weeks in the past where I've had 10 plus large graduation cakes going out the door on a given day, and so we got to do a little organization. We got to go through and just kind of reorganize and inventory all of that stuff, make sure that that's done. So we'll probably do the kitchen as a deep clean, but my husband and I are also ready to do a bedroom makeover because our bedroom space has a sitting area off to the side, and it served as just random storage for years. And then we did use it actually as our homeschool room. We had that section which had all of our desks, and that was our first true homeschool room. And then we finished the basement, brought the kids down here, and it became my craft room. Well, as you might know, I brought my craft room down here as well last fall, and so that space has pretty much been empty, and we've kind of been thinking about what it is we want to use it for, how we want to make that space look and feel. And so this month we are going to be working on redoing that whole bedroom space, and we'll take you along because I'm really big on trying to make things look nice but do it on a budget, which I know many of you are probably facing as well. There's home projects you want to do, but you just can't afford to throw thousands of dollars at it. So how can we do something on a minimal budget and still have it look nice and be of good quality? So that's going to be my goal, is to take you along as we do those things. Under my faith and personal goals, I did not reach my goal last year of finishing the whole Bible. I did decent, but I did not get through the whole thing. And so I am hoping to get at least 2 books of the Bible done this month in April. So I'm going to do some real disciplined reading every day. Try to make sure I'm hitting that. I've kind of looked through the chapters I'm on and split up the pages and told myself how many pages I need to do a day. And I'm not to make it sound like a chore. It's more or less to just help me organize myself. So that way when I'm planning out my day, I know that's a priority. I need to make sure that I'm prioritizing doing that in the morning. And I've been getting up quite early a lot of days now. I'm usually up 5. My son goes and works out at the gym at 5 every morning, which means I wake up when he's getting around to go to the gym. So it's given me quite a bit of time in the mornings to be able to work on that. And then a new devotional as well that I'm starting this month. I don't have it down here. I should have brought it down here. It's from Daily Grayscale. I'll throw the picture up here for you. So I have not started it yet, but I'll tell you what I think as I go through that. So those two things are kind of on the face side of things, the devotional that I'm going to be working on, and I just will spend about 15-20 minutes in the morning during that early morning time working on that and working through the books of the Bible that I'm reading. But I also wanted to have a goal that was just, I don't know, like a personal treat, just something for myself, because I don't treat myself very often. I don't go out and like buy a bunch of clothes. I do not get my nails done, but because for me, that was a huge waste of money. We can't wear artificial nails at the hospital anyways. And with how much I'm doing with baking and gardening and everything, like that would be a total waste. It would, yeah. So I wanted to do something just for myself. So I think this month I'm going to try to treat myself to a hair appointment, because I have not gone to the gal who's been doing my hair forever in months. It's just timing and budget-wise, I was not able to swing that. So I really want to get my hair done for the summer and decide what I want to do with it. I cut it a little bit shorter, and I'm debating, do I go short, or do I leave it like this, or do I grow it long again? I'm liking this length, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Bob cut again? What color? But I'd like to do that. I'd like to treat myself to something like that. And I'm also going to allow myself at least 2 new houseplants. I have not bought new houseplants in a while. And if I don't give myself a limit, then I will buy all the ones that look amazing. So I'm going to give myself a limit. So 2 houseplants and getting my hair done. That'll be my little personal treat to myself. And I'm going to try to plan something to just kind of like give myself a little bit of a, I don't know, like a little feel-good thing every month if I can, because I think, we spend so much time and energy as moms taking care of everybody and making sure everything is running smoothly, but we should treat ourselves every now and then too. In the health category, yes, I am still doing the keto, and I am so glad I made that switch back. I had done it several years prior, felt amazing, went off of it, felt like garbage, and I've been back on it since January, and I just feel good. My digestion's been so much better. My energy levels have been steadier during the day. Like I'm not getting like those, peaks and valleys where like I suddenly have a ton of energy and then I'm crashing. I just feel steady. I'm sleeping a lot better as well. I don't know. It's all good things from that for me. Like I know it's not for everybody, and I know it can be a hard diet to get used to and to stick to. But once you're in the routine of it, it's not bad. I mean, it's just a matter of planning your meals and making sure that things are balanced. And quite honestly, like I don't have cravings for a lot of the things that I cut out. Once you get through that first month, those cravings pretty much go away. But it has been a really good thing. So in April, I am working on bumping up my cardio. That is one thing that I have not done this spring so far. I have not really been good about doing more and more cardio activity. I lift pretty consistently, and I walk on the treadmill, but I do want to kind of ramp it up. I don't really want to run. I don't have great cartilage in my knees. Nursing and years of going up and down and bending to the floor and lifting patients and things like that has kind of destroyed my knees. So I don't really want to run, but I do want to try to bump up either like speed walking or more walking on an incline or biking, something to try to get at least 3 good days of cardio in. And see if I can work on ramping up that heart rate and things like that. So we're going to work on that in the month of April, and as always, trying to keep up on the water intake and all of those good stuff. I've gotten really good at filling up my water bottle a couple times a day and going to that as opposed to going to coffee or soda, which is another thing that is nice about my energy levels feeling steadier, is I don't have to constantly caffeinate quite so much in order to maintain my energy levels. The foods that I'm eating are doing that just fine. So that's really what I'm going to work on for health. Then in relationships and family category, We are in full graduation party planning mode. We've set a graduation party date. It's going to be in early June. We rented a big room at our church that's got a kitchen, so we'll be able to have the party there. Emma just chose like the photos she wants on her graduation invitation, so we're going to be ordering those. We worked on a design for them, and we're deciding on theme and food and getting all of that stuff ordered in. And then I'm going to be working with my best friend, who is she's also the godmother to my kids and my best friend of over 30 years. We are working on a little project together where we are making memory boards for every year of Emma's life. And we want to have those to put on as like decorations around the room. And then we'll have, of course, displays of things related to her sports and golf and stuff she's done in life. But we thought these would be fun to be able to see, you know, every age from 1 to 18 and the things that she's done. So my best friend and I are planning some secret work nights. We're going to get together, we'll have dinner together, and we'll get to chat and visit and work on these as a project. So that'll be really fun, because I have not spent nearly enough time with my friends in the last couple of months, and especially with my best friend. Like we text and talk multiple times during the week. I think we text almost every day. But actually getting together and doing things, it's been really hard. She is an accountant, so this is like her crazy time of year. But she said that she will block off some evenings, and I'm blocking off some evenings so we can work on this project together for Emma. So we're going to do that. And then the work category. So that's my last category. And for me, work, it means a lot of things, because I'm teaching, and I'm doing nursing, and I run a baking business, and I write homeschool stuff. I mean, like, there's a lot that goes into work. But I am working on a couple of things pertinent to you guys. So one, I have a whole bunch of products that are going to be new releases that will come out in the month of April. I have written a series of quizzes and tests to go along with a couple of the guest Hollow programs that we have used. They don't do quizzes and tests with their programs, and I'll be sharing those resources. Sometimes people just want to have that, or your state might require you to show certain evidences of learning for your students. So if you need a test or quiz to go along with those courses, I did it for world history, and I did it for government and econ. So those are the ones that I have done, so I'll be releasing those. Mental health course will be coming out this month. That is a 1-semester elective that I have been working on for almost a year, and I'm excited to get that one out to you. I will have a planner template that will be coming out. This will be one that can be printed, so you can have a printable template. I'd love to figure out a good digital version of it, but I'm going to start with the printed version of that. And then I have been working with a partner to help create a series of educational videos that'll be coming out not till June. The plan is not to release them to June, but we are still working on final editing and things like that, and having some continuity in all of the videos. When you're doing a series, especially like an education series, you want there to be certain things that tie all those videos together, whether that's certain intro elements, certain ways that you edit the footage, certain ways that you add an animation. So there's, you know, you can tell whose video that is fairly quickly based on those types of things. And so we've been working on a series of videos. These are chemistry videos. I already spilled the beans about this to Charles Guest from Guest Hollow, but we had really enjoyed doing the chemistry in the kitchen course. And I'd always been looking at like the feedback other people had, and a lot of people either wanted some help like guiding their kids through the cooking projects, or they struggled with how to best explain to their kids what the chemistry concepts were. Like, it's listed, it's very clear in all of the books, but not every kid is reading all of the books. And so I wanted to create some supplement videos that provided some additional information and some explanation to go along with those. So as they're doing a cooking project and they're seeing what's happening, here's the explanation of the chemistry behind that, and including some different types of visuals and some different ways of helping kids to grasp those concepts. And then I added in videos related to math and chemistry, because some some students will need to know how to do different types of calculations in chemistry, especially if they're going to be taking it at a college level. And so I wanted to be able to help provide some additional resources on that. So it is a long series of videos. It has been a project. There's a full year's worth of curriculum for that course. So that's 36 weeks of curriculum. That's 36 videos to go along with each week with the key cooking projects and the key chemistry components, plus the additional videos related to the math. So the plan is to release them in bunches in June. So here's, videos for week 1 through 6, and then the next week here's 7 through 12. So that way people who are going through the course next year can watch those videos if they would like to. I believe they are going to link the videos in the curriculum once they are released as well to help guide with that. But it is a big project. Anytime you're doing something that is going to be that massive, I definitely brought in help for that to make sure that I was explaining things in the best way. I mean, I was a chemistry major, and I've taught chemistry now to both of my kids, and I'm teaching it outside of the home now as well. But you want to make sure that your message is clear and that it's understandable, and I'm trying to get feedback from other people's kids to see, for somebody who's not taken chemistry courses, is this something that you can understand? Just trying to really package it together. So it is a big, big project, but it's one I'm really proud to be a part of, and I would love to tackle additional subjects if this goes well and if it's well received. I'd love to tackle biology because biology was my other major, and I love that. I'd love to do something related to health, different kinds of courses where just a little extra guidance would be helpful for students. So that is what's been going on in the work world. But we'll have those resources. We'll probably do a video, and then we'll announce it and launch and things like that. So anywho's, busy and a productive month ahead. I'm super, super excited, and I feel so rejuvenated after taking some time away from just kind of all things social media. I mean, I've posted when I've needed to post, and I've gone on now and then just for fun, but I've really kind of, for the most part, disconnected. And I think sometimes you need to do that. I think sometimes you got to take a step back and break those habits of, spending too much time worrying about things, like worrying about every single post and worrying about every single comment, and just, I don't know, take a breath. And but now I'm back. So I missed you guys, and I'm looking forward to all of the things coming up this spring and in our homeschool world. Drop a comment. Let me know what you have been up to this spring. What have been some exciting things going on in life? What are some goals that you're working on for the month of April? Do you have any similar goals to mine? Any comments on any of these things? Let me know. What should I do with my hair? Should I cut it? Should I completely change the color? What resources are you looking for in your homeschool? Which ones should I be adding to this list of things we're releasing? All of the things. I'd love to chat back and forth with you. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me for today's video, everybody. I will see you very soon in the next one. And until then, happy homeschooling.